What's good, people? And it's Arsenal versus Liverpool tonight, and we're really looking for just some kind of distraction to get us away from the horrific week that we just had, drawing with Palace, dropping a 2-goal lead at home and then losing 1-0 away to Sheffield United. And it's the away form that's really plagued this team, and we go into the lion's den of Anfield, where we didn't get a hope in hell last time of winning. I went for a 3-1 loss and predicted a correct score. And you can see that in my previous video when we played at Anfield earlier on this year. And unfortunately, it's not good news. I'm probably going to go for in fact, I'd probably think 2-1, because I think we'll get on the score sheet today. Martinelli is that good. And speaking of the rotation, Emery normally rotates these teams for these things. So the static, misfiring, unbalanced play from the first team surely will disappear. I did mention in the last game against Victoria that we didn't really look good, and a lot of that was because in that reserve team it was Bukayo Saka who was really carrying the team on his shoulders, and he wasn't there, and we really felt that. Tonight he should start, and so we're going to be able to see some of that balance and that link between the midfield and the strikers return to the team. So we're looking forward now to seeing Ozil come back into the fray. He's gonna get a call up. We're also gonna see Martinez, Rob Holding, Hector Bellerin. Klasnach probably would start because Turney has now got into the first team. Torreira, Martinelli and Saka are probably all going to start tonight, which, to be honest with you, that's quite a decent team. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go there and start flicking a few switches, because remember, Liverpool won 3-1. One of their goals came from a penalty and the other came from a corner kick. So essentially, although we played okay-ish, there were some positives to draw from that game. And with this team, there's just that little bit better balance in terms of how the teams are working together in tandem. And Martinelli is just flawless in the box. I did say he reminded me of a Firmino type rather than Ronaldo, because he's just a utility man up front. And speaking of Firmino, God, if he plays tonight, he's got 8 goals in his last 9 appearances for Liverpool against Arsenal, and he just keeps on scoring every time he plays us. But as I said before, guys, I'm looking for just a welcome retreat away from the Emirates Stadium and all the troubles that have followed us this week. Lots been going on, and I just want to leave that behind at the moment now, because I've made 2 videos talking about that. And realistically, all of this has got to come down to Unai Emery. He's at fault for the whole thing. You know, had he not been taken off, had he not been chosen to play in the first place, had he not been made captain, none of this would have happened. And everything points to the manager. So, bro, you got to wear that shit. You got to wear it, bro, because the team right now is a result of your management. Everything on the field, off the field, the results, it all comes down to Unai Emery. And I hear enough man giving up on you. But bro, look, even though I doubt your capabilities, and even though I doubt what this team can achieve this season, and it's really weird, I made a prediction this team would finish 3rd in the Premiership, and I really can't see that happening. I would be so shocked if Arsenal finished in the top 4. But this is about winning trophies, and this is the League Cup. And tonight, a victory at Anfield will go a long way into giving this team a much needed boost in confidence, because right now the players, the manager, and even the fans' confidence is probably at an all-time low in the Unai Emery tenure. And right now, the fact that he's being compared to Wenger's worst season, his last season, and not even being able to provide statistically a better output than what Wenger did in his worst year, that's a bad sign right there, man. That's the lowest of the low, and it's hard for you to pick yourself up from something like that. Dropping Xhaka would be a start. And believe me, you'd have a lot of people like me more on board if you do, because Torreira at a defensive midfielder holding position would really change the dynamics of the team back to how solid we looked last season in our unbeaten run. We'd kind of start to get a little bit of that back. And look, I've said this many times before. Since Xhaka and Mustafi were bought, Arsenal have not made the Champions League. That's the only deciding factor. Everything has changed. The manager's changed. The rest of the players has changed. Xhaka is the only remnants left on that pitch from the Arsene Wenger era. And if you root that out, you've actually got a fresh start. And I think that dynamically it would change the outlook of the team, because our problem has always been off the ball. On the ball, we're as good as anybody. Off the ball, we're at the bottom of the pile. We really don't chase the game down. We don't press as a team. We're not aggressive enough without the ball. We're allowing teams to play too much. We're allowing them open spaces in the final third, and we do not close down crosses on the flanks. And all of this is about your attitude off the ball, which the manager, after 50 games, still hasn't fixed. And for me, that's a problem, because like I said previously before, many times when man like Sam Allardyce and all these men take over a team, the first thing they do is fix the shape and the balance of the defense and stop leaking goals. Yeah? Mourinho done that when he took over Man United, and they went on a 25-game unbeaten streak. Granted, 11 of those games were draws, but the fact of the matter is, keeping it tight at the back allows your team to start to build something from the back. And this team, Arsenal, since Unai Emery took over, has never had that stability, has never had that balance, has never fixed the problem of the defensive structure, and nothing's changed. Yeah, and if you change your manager just for that one reason, it's worth it. Because with the talent you got up front and the talent you've got in the midfield, you know, with Guendouzi and Torreira and Ceballos, and then up the front players, you know, Sacco, you've got Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, Martinelli, you're sure to produce something. Even with Ozil, let's talk about Ozil, because I believe if Emery wasn't here, Ozil would still be playing, and he'd still be providing more chances than anybody in the Premiership. You know, we would never be suffering this fate if it wasn't for the decisions that Unai Emery has made, and I had long said was going to cost him his job, and I still stand by that. So guys, I'm going for a Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1 scoreline for tonight. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I really hope that we can get something out of this game. If not, a good performance from the young guns. And let's look to see how the likes of Klasnach and Niles, because Maitland-Niles had an awful game the other day, but let's see how they react, because remember, these are the guys who have been dropped from the first team and have lost their places and have now have to somehow fight their way back into contention. And we need to see a reaction from that. If Maitland-Niles' last performance was anything to go by, his Arsenal career is done. Yeah, because that's not the way. Losing his place to Chambers, that's not the way how you come back to try and solidify your state in the first team. So I'll leave it right there, guys. Like and subscribe. Thanks for all your support, guys. You guys are the best, man. And we'll have a look at the result after the game's finished. So right back at you. Peace out.